Welcome to the colorful city of Cape Town, South Africa. We're here today to try out some of its delicious food. And I love South African food because it's a mix of your traditional African food, Indian food, and Malay food all coming together. But not only that, South Africa is famous for wine. So we're gonna hit up a lot of delicious wine today too. Now though, it's time to jump in straight into the food. Behind me here is the Eastern Food Bazaar in downtown Cape Town, and it's where you come to get that traditional African food that's usually mixed with either an Indian or a European flair, and I can't wait to show you what the first thing is. Come on in. I'm so excited for what's next up, and that is bunny chow. Now, when I first heard bunny chow, I got a little bit concerned because I was like, I was just in Peru and they're eating guinea pigs. Do I want to come here and eat bunnies? But fortunately, I found out it has nothing to do with bunnies. I don't know why it's called bunny chow, but what it is a loaf of bread stuffed with curry, and I'm gonna go get that right now. So if we see here, oh, they've gone for a curry there. Oh, I'll give the man my ticket. Whoop. Oh, thank you very much. I heard it was gonna be bread with some curry inside. I didn't expect it to be as big as my head, but yeah, good thing I have my friend Tammy here to help me out. This is Tammy, and she's volunteered to help me eat all of this. So where exactly are we in town?
We're in the city bowl, so city center.
We're gonna start off with this, and I guess just dive right in. You got yourself a fork or a spoon ever. So I guess first is the curry itself. So to me, this tastes like India, but like it's lighter. It does have a burn, but it's not as hot as the curries in India. The veg version has potatoes, green peas, and then just a little bit of bread. Oh no, it exploded. So for those of you at home, you gotta be careful with your bunny chow because it could explode everywhere. I should probably be wearing lots of napkins right now because this could get dangerous. It's just like eating a dumpling back home. When you eat it with the bread too, it just becomes like really chewy. You get a lot more from it. So I think I'm getting a little bit more of the spices now. So now, because you're from South Africa, growing up, did you like ever eat bunny chow?
I've actually never had a bunny chow before.
So this is her first bunny chow. I heard it was really popular here, and you've never had it. So I picked the wrong South African to come with me today. I think this is meant to be shared. It is 50 rand. It's a bit expensive for like local dishes, but you get like almost a full loaf of bread. So that's probably why. For the rest of the video, I want to show like a lot of traditional African with South African mix. So that's what you're going to see next. So in Cape Town, there's a lot of options, but what I wanted to do, I wanted to find a restaurant that had the most amount of different kinds of African food, especially around South Africa. So this one is called Marco's African Place, and we're going to go inside there now and try a bunch of South African dishes. I just ordered a beer at this restaurant here, and it's a homebrew, and it's really interesting. But then I tried to pronounce it, and Yandy, I had no idea. So Yandy, how do I pronounce this beer?
This is what we call umqombothi. You do the click. A little bit harder. Umqombothi.
Try this again. Yeah, no, I find this so fascinating because in Canada we don't have any clicking at all with our language, but here we do. So let's try that again.
Umqombothi.
Umqombothi.
Our South African traditional beer.
Okay, wow. Umqombothi. Is that okay? Am I kind of possible? I won't get made fun of too much. Okay. Umqombothi. I'll work on it. Awesome. Thank you so much for the lesson and the beer. I appreciate it. Thank you. So that was so fascinating. I love learning about different cultures. I thought I could, like, just when you're doing it on your own, like, it's easy. But then when you try and put it together with a sentence like body, I feel like my tongue, because I'm saying other words, it just sticks together, and I failed miserably. She was really polite and said I did all right, so that was good. Now we'll taste this body beer. So I don't know how much you can see of this on the camera, but it doesn't really look like beer to me. It looks like a little porridge, and they said it was homebrewed, so it might be a bit strong. So that is a cultured palate that likes that kind of beer. It kind of, you first get hit with this like cream, but it's not like a dairy cream and it's not like a coconut cream. It's just like the texture of cream, and then like a hint of yogurt, and then a lot of sour and things going on.
I don't actually know what to say, but definitely can taste like the dairy aspect. It probably isn't dairy, but there's something very sour in there.
So this is it here out of the black colander. It's kind of looks like it has chunks of cinnamon or something brown, but it's very, very milky. And when we ordered a beer, we didn't expect it. So is it my most favorite beer ever? Maybe not. But in terms of trying something new, it was great to try it, and it's actually made from a local district up here. So anytime you're buying a beer like this, you're supporting the local township. So I mean, I'm happy I was able to do that here, but yeah, I think I'll have water for dinner today. So I've got my friend Tammy back with me here for some more tasting of South African food. So we actually did a road trip of the garden route a little bit earlier, and that is a stunning coastal route up the coast of Africa. While there, we saw many ostrich farms, and I was like, why is there so many like ostrich everywhere, and like why are they all fenced in? And then I learned the sad reality, whereas in like North America and stuff, we grow cows to eat, they actually grow ostriches to eat. So on this plate here is ostrich fillets.
Yeah, it's a really, really lean protein. So it's like hardly any fat.
And it's definitely really good. If you're from North America, kind of a bit closer to elk. I thought it would be a bit closer to chicken because it's a bird. It kind of has the texture of a steak, but when you eat a steak, it's full of fat and it's juicy. I guess it's a healthy version of a steak.
Yeah.
You love your meat, but you don't want to give it up, but you want to be a bit healthier, lower the cholesterol levels a bit. Try some ostrich. Now though, it is time to wet our palate a little bit more because South Africa is famous for wines. So we're going to Public, it's just right up the street here in Cape Town. So we are now onto the wine portion of our tour around Cape Town, and I've learned a little bit. I know South African wine is world famous, and it is because it has really old soil and we get more flavor from that. That's all I know. I'm with my friends from Kentucky that I met back in December. Kate, Caitlin, Alex. And they're part of a wine club in their university, so they're more pro than I am in learning wine. So Kate, why don't you take it over? Tell me a little bit more about South African wine.
So like within our regions, there's so many different soil types, pHs of soil that so affect the flavor that comes through the wine. And it's really interesting to taste all the different Sauvignon Blancs, Chenin Blancs, all the wines. I'm mostly a white drinker, so that's why I relate to those. But it's really interesting to taste all the different regions of wine.
Most of us, especially like our age, we drink a lot of, especially like Sauvignon Blanc and like a lot of like the dry whites and that. But surprisingly, I've recently discovered.
Recently, eh?
South Africa is actually best known for our Chenins.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Our barkeep Dominic right there may have just fed Caitlin with that information.
Hi, Dominic.
Cool. And I think, Alex, you are the most experienced of us in terms of drinking South African wine, are you?
I mean, probably. No, I just find it really interesting how even among the regions Kate was talking about, you can have so many different soil types, countries to taste, but then also across different grapes. So red and white wine being made on the same farm and just having such different flavor palettes, and it's so interesting and so delicious, and you should definitely try it.
Whether you're in Cape Town, Stellenbosch, or you keep going up the coast, the flavor palette, it just keeps changing. So I guess if you're in this area, you just have to go up the coast for a wine tour. And now, unfortunately, the coronavirus has shut me down and I've got to go back to Canada. However, I think in a couple months, I think we're going to come back and do a full up the coast wine tour.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Keep your eye out.
So next up is in Conclusio. I'm probably butchering that, but yeah, so overall, this here is just their like staple food. There isn't too much salt, there isn't too much seasoning at all. It's pretty much just a lentil bean corn mixture. It's really simple and an affordable food to eat when you grow up in Africa. This next one here is chakalaka salad. So one thing I've learned from coming to South Africa that I actually didn't know about before, and I think I'm learning from you and other people, is there's a lot of like Malay influence. So when Indian settlers came to Africa and people from Malaysia, they kind of came together and mixed with the staple African foods, with samp and things like that. They came together. Now this is kind of their fusion. So this one is a mix of, and this is a cold salad, and it's a mix of beans, pickled carrot, pickled mango.
Some onion and like peppers. That's really good.
It kind of tastes like an Asian like chutney dish like that you'd have on the side of your plate. Just like a little action in the corner. It's got like a mix of spiciness. It's got refreshing elements from that carrot, and it's also got the tanginess from, I guess, the spices they're using. I think there's a bit of chilies in there too. So I could definitely see, if I was growing up here in South Africa, I'd probably be asking my mum for chakalaka salad all the time. Something else that we didn't cover today, what would you think would be typical South African, something that we didn't have time for today?
Oh, definitely like a South African braai, so barbecue.
Oh, barbecue.
So boerewors.
Yeah, so that's a good thing I've learned from here. So in Australia, they call it a barbie, but here they call it a braai. And if you go to many South African communities, they're all about the barbecue life. So I went out and I hung out with her family at their cottage, and We did a big braai, and there was like bratwurst sausages, or the African version, Brovwurst. Half their culture is going for those barbecue style foods, and the others are more of these staple foods, but it's really nice to see it come together. What a nice time here in Cape Town. It was so nice trying different African foods. I did, however, have a lot more planned for this video, a lot more food, but as I'm sure you're aware, this coronavirus is really affecting the whole world, and now I had to cancel, but I wanted to get a little bit of this video done as much as I could. That being said, I will be traveling back to Canada now, so be sure to check along with the rest of my profile at Michael Makes Films. Thanks a lot for watching.